Most people want wealth, but few realize it's not just about what you do at work or how much money you make. Real wealth starts with what you do before the world even wakes up. Your mornings set the tone for your entire life. And today I'm going to share the 5 morning habits that completely changed my finances and helped me build wealth. These are not complicated, they don't require money, but if you practice them daily, they will rewire your mindset, boost your productivity, and create unstoppable momentum toward financial success. Habit 1. Wake up earlier than most people. The world is loud, busy, and distracting, but in the early morning you have silence. That silence is power. Waking up just 1 hour earlier gave me something money can't buy: clarity. While others were hitting snooze, I was planning my day, setting my priorities, and preparing to execute. Most people say they don't have time to build a side hustle, learn new skills, or invest in themselves. But that's because they give their best energy to everyone else first. Waking up early puts you back in control. It gave me the gift of time, and that time built my wealth. Habit 2. Move my body. Exercise might not sound like a wealth-building tool, but it is. When you move your body in the morning, you wake up your brain. Energy creates productivity, and productivity creates income. Before I worked out in the mornings, I felt sluggish, distracted, and reactive. Once I committed to moving every morning, even just a quick workout, I felt sharper, faster, more focused. Wealth is not only about money, it's also about stamina, energy, and resilience. Millionaires and billionaires take their health seriously because they know they can't earn at their highest level if their body is weak. Energy is currency, and exercise gives you more of it. Habit 3, learn before I earn. One of the biggest shifts in my wealth journey came from dedicating my mornings to learning before working. I started reading books, listening to podcasts, and studying the habits of wealthy people. Instead of scrolling social media or watching the news, I fed my mind with ideas that made me grow. Knowledge compounds like money. The more you learn, the better your decisions. And wealth is built on smart decisions. By investing just 30 minutes a morning into learning, I discovered opportunities I would have never seen otherwise. I made better financial moves. I took smarter risks. I expanded my vision. Learning before earning turned my mornings into a daily investment in my future. Habit 4. Write down my goals. Wealthy people are not lucky. They are focused. Every morning I wrote down my goals, not once a year, not once a month, every single morning. By writing my goals, I programmed my mind to see opportunities connected to them. It's like telling your brain, this is what matters. Pay attention. Most people drift through life with no clear target. They react to the day instead of controlling it. But when I wrote my goals daily, I stopped drifting. I started moving with intention. And here's the secret. Goals are not about motivation. They are about alignment. When you remind yourself each morning where you're going, you naturally start making choices that take you there. That simple act helped me stay locked in on building wealth even when distractions came. Habit 5. Take action immediately. The last habit changed everything. Every morning I took one action connected to my wealth. It could be small: sending an email, making a call, setting up an investment transfer, creating content, or planning a business move. Action in the morning creates momentum. It told my brain, we're moving forward today. By the time most people were sipping coffee and scrolling Instagram, I had already taken a step toward my financial freedom. Wealth doesn't come from wishing, it comes from action. And stacking action every single morning compounds into massive results. So let's recap. The 5 morning habits that made me wealthier were: wake up earlier than most people, move my body, learn before I earn, write down my goals, and take action immediately. These habits transformed my mornings, and my mornings transformed my life. If you want wealth, start with your mornings. Don't wait until the day is out of your control. Take command early. Even if you start with just one of these habits, you'll feel the shift. Wealth is not an accident. It's built daily through consistent choices that compound. Your mornings are the foundation. So tomorrow morning, when your alarm goes off, ask yourself, will you snooze or will you choose to build your future? Because the truth is, success doesn't wait, and neither should you. If I were stripped of everything today, no money, no connections, no reputation, no possessions, only my mind, my spirit, and my two hands remaining, I would not tremble. I would not curse my fate. I would not despair. I would see instead the greatest opportunity of all, the chance to prove once again that true wealth is not built from gold or silver, but from the inexhaustible power of the human spirit. You must understand this truth. Wealth is not money. Wealth is not numbers in a bank account, nor jewels locked away in a vault. Wealth is the ability to think with clarity, to dream with precision, to act with relentless persistence, and to mold the invisible substance of thought into the tangible reality of achievement. A man with dollars but without vision is poor. A man with vision but without dollars is only temporarily broke. The first is a beggar with riches. The second is a king in disguise. If I had to start again from nothing, I would begin not by chasing money, but by mastering my mind. For the mind is the workshop of riches. Every fortune that has ever been built began first as an idea, fragile and unseen, whispered only in the imagination of one person bold enough to believe. Andrew Carnegie was not handed steel mills. He was handed the dream of efficiency, the vision of an empire that could be created from the power of industry. Henry Ford was not given a factory. He was given the idea that the common man deserved an automobile. Edison was not handed light. He seized the idea that darkness itself could be conquered. If you would build wealth from nothing, the first raw material you must gather is not capital, but clarity. You must define with absolute precision what you want, not vaguely, not loosely, not as a passing wish, but as a definite burning purpose that consumes your thoughts and commands your actions. A mind without purpose is like a ship without a compass. It drifts, it collides, it sinks. But a mind fixed on a clear and definite goal becomes magnetic, drawing to itself the people, resources, and opportunities necessary to fulfill its vision. I would write down my purpose as if it were already achieved. I would speak it aloud until my voice trembled with belief. I would see it night after night until my dreams themselves became rehearsals for the reality I intended to build. For wealth is not built by those who merely wish, it is built by those who will. Once my purpose was established, I would turn to the second great force, faith. Not faith in blind luck or chance, but faith in my own ability to persist until the world had no choice but to yield. When Lincoln faced defeat after defeat, when doors slammed shut, when ridicule and failure pressed upon him, he leaned not on the world's approval, but on an unshakable faith that destiny had called him to serve. That same faith has carried every builder, every dreamer, every leader from the valley of despair to the mountaintop of victory. Faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. Without it, your purpose withers into a fantasy. With it, your purpose becomes a prophecy. If I had nothing but faith and a burning purpose, I would already be wealthier than 99 out of 100 who spend their days doubting, hesitating, and waiting for life to hand them what they should seize for themselves. Then I would act relentlessly, ferociously, not in reckless frenzy, but in disciplined persistence, for action is the great equalizer. It matters not whether you start with nothing or with millions. If you act daily with focus and precision, you will build momentum that no obstacle can resist. I would trade my hours not for wages, but for learning. If I could not buy a book, I would borrow one. If I could not attend a university, I would study the lives of the men and women who had already climbed the mountains I wish to ascend. For every fortune leaves behind a map, and every great achievement leaves behind clues. Edison left clues. Carnegie left clues. Hill himself left clues. And these clues are free to the man who hungers for them. While others waste their evenings on entertainment, I would devote mine to mastery. While others spend their mornings in idleness, I would rise early, sharpening my mind, conditioning my body, preparing my spirit for the battles of the day. Each hour invested in growth compounds until the man who once had nothing possesses skill, insight, and strength that no economy can ever strip away. From there, I would surround myself with a circle of allies, not companions of convenience, but a mastermind of individuals whose knowledge, courage, and vision would combine with mine to form a force greater than any one man could summon. Ford had his engineers, Edison had his assistants, Carnegie had his managers. No fortune is ever built alone. Wealth multiplies where minds unite in harmony, driving toward one purpose with shared belief. The noise of the world is deafening. Everywhere you look, someone is flaunting success. Someone is racing ahead. Someone is achieving the very dream you once whispered to yourself in silence. And the temptation is strong to look outward, to compare, to measure your worth against the highlight reels of others. But let me tell you with the fire of absolute certainty, the surest way to lose is to spend your life staring at another man's race. The path to greatness does not begin by chasing shadows. It begins the moment you turn inward and declare, "My focus belongs to me. My energy belongs to me. My destiny belongs to me." Think of the mighty oak. When it was a seed beneath the soil, it did not look left or right at the other seeds. It did not worry about the rain that fell on another field. It did not envy the sunshine on a nearby tree. It focused only on pushing its roots deeper, reaching upward, growing, expanding its whole until it towered above the forest. That is the law of life. Growth belongs to those who focus inward. Every empire you admire today was built by a man or woman who at one point was invisible, unknown, overlooked. Henry Ford was dismissed as a dreamer, tinkering with machines that would never replace the horse. Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first television job, told she wasn't fit for the screen. And yet each one of them made a decision to focus on their own vision, to cultivate their own soil, to silence the noise of critics and doubters until the world could no longer ignore what they had built. That is the secret the world hides in plain sight. Success is not about being better than others. It is about being relentless with yourself. When you pour all of your attention into your own growth, into your craft, into your vision, something miraculous happens. Comparison dies, envy fades. The man who outworks everyone is not the one who begins with the greatest talent, the loudest applause, or the richest inheritance. He is the one who cultivates discipline so fierce, so unshakable that no storm can move him. Discipline is the bridge between thought and creation. Without it, ideas die in the desert of inaction. With it, even the smallest spark of an idea can grow into a roaring fire that illuminates the world. Think of Edison, who pursued the electric light not as a casual hobby, but as an obsession. Thousands of experiments, thousands of failures. Yet each night, when others slept in comfort, he returned to the laboratory, burning the midnight oil so that we might one day have light in the darkness. That is discipline, not glamorous, not instantly rewarding, but relentless. Discipline is not a punishment, it is freedom. Freedom from regret, freedom from mediocrity, freedom from the chains of wasted potential. When you live without discipline, you live in chaos. Your time stolen, your energy scattered, your future buried under the debris of excuses. But when you master discipline, you master yourself. And the man who masters himself can master any destiny. Ask yourself, how many mornings have you surrendered to the comfort of sleep when greatness demanded you rise? How many hours have you given away to trivial distractions when your vision demanded focus? How many times have you chosen convenience over commitment and comfort over conquest? Each choice writes the story of your life, and every page will either testify to your weakness or proclaim your strength. If you feel behind in life, it is not because others are ahead. It is because you have allowed discipline to slip from your grasp. The remedy is simple, though never easy. Reclaim it one choice at a time. Begin with the morning, for as the ancient proverb declares, win the morning, win the day. Rise before the world rises. Breathe life into your body. Sharpen your mind with reading, reflection, or prayer. Set your intention like a captain charting the course of his ship. Let no hour drift aimlessly. Then turn your focus into action. Do not wait to feel motivated. Do not wait to feel ready. Action is the cure to hesitation, the fuel of faith. Momentum is born not from thought, but from movement. Take one step, then another until the path is clear and the fire of progress burns in your chest. Understand this. Work is not a curse. It is the sculptor of destiny. The sweat of your labor is the ink with which your life story is written. The hours you invest in your craft are not lost. They are transformed into skill, into power.